transplantation and the decision on whether to or not donate organs. It's a personal decision and comes with many ethical decisions to go along with it. Right now in Australia, there are 1,400 people on the wait list for life-saving organ donation and thousands more that would benefit from an organ transplant that would improve the quality of their life. Currently in Australia, we are under an opt-in system whereby people willingly donate to give the gift of life to someone once they are deceased. Unfortunately, if people do not register to donate prior to their death, their wishes may not be respected, as families will make the final decision on donating or not, which can be extremely difficult during such an emotional, distressing time. Countries that have introduced the opt-out legislation for organ donation have some of the highest rates of organ donation in the world, which is in the world because they have presumed consent whereby all tissues and organs are donated unless they opt out officially prior to their death. This obviously can cause much debate on both sides, dependent on the ethical beliefs of the individual concerned. So today we have on our panel Tina, Vanessa and Emily, who are going to be talking about the ethical theories and principles that can help us when making the decision on whether to or not donate. So we're going to have Vanessa talk about the ethical theories and her point of view on the situation. Hi Vanessa, so how are you going?
Good.
So what's your perspective on organ donation?
So I think despite this being a controversial topic, I think we can all agree that the opt-out system poses some major benefits for society. The opt-out system is supported, I guess, by the ethical theory of the teleological or consequentialist theory. This theory focuses on the outcome being right or wrong rather than the actions that lead up to the outcome. The moral of the action is based on beneficial and negative consequences, I guess. The healthcare system faces challenges in providing patients with life-saving organ transplantation surgery, as there's a ceaseless shortage of organ donors, and as stated earlier, the opt-out system of organ donation works on the principle of presumed consent. Now, this means that all individuals being donors unless stated otherwise, meaning that the outcome of the consequence of the opt-out system is ultimately beneficial for society, and this is because it drastically increases the number of organs available for the transplantation surgeries, and thus the opt-out system increases the number of lives saved through organ transplantation surgeries and decreases the mortality rate of those on the waiting list. And as you can imagine, that would be horrific for the individual and the family waiting, not knowing if they'll survive until they receive an organ. And not only that, it's also for the family, it decreases the burden during the already difficult time and having to make that final decision for their family member. And so I guess the teleological and ethical theory validates the opt-out system due to the benefits that it offers to society as a whole.
So, that was very interesting. So we have Emily, who is also going to be talking about the ethical principles that are surrounding organ donation. How are you going, Emily?
I'm good. How are you?
That's very well. I'm well. So what's your perspective on organ donation in terms of the ethical principles?
Yeah, well, I think when considering an opt-out organ donation system, it is important to take into account the ethical principles as they offer a practical approach to guide decision-making that are based upon a moral compass that society generally holds. The four main and key ethical principles are that of non-malevolence, benefits, autonomy and justice. And I think out of those four, benefits and autonomy are the two that really strongly relate to the opt-out system of organ donation. The principle of benefits really relates to doing good above all, with all actions intended to benefit others. I think this principle strongly applies to the overall aim of the opt-out donor system, as it benefits society as a whole by increasing donor rates, organ donation rates, and preserving life as an aim. The other principle that applies really is that of autonomy, which is actually quite debatable on the subject. Autonomy ultimately can be described as respecting an individual and their ability to make an informed decision. Those who oppose this opt-out system view would argue that the autonomy of an individual isn't really respected in this regard, as many individuals may not wish to donate their organs and specified consent isn't given by all, which can lead to people having their organs donated that may not really desire this, and that should be respected. However, I think it can be argued that with the opt-out system, it actually can allow for greater autonomy, as there are huge discrepancies seen between donor approval rates compared to the amount of donors actually currently in Australia. So this suggests that a lot of people fail to opt in with this system already. I think autonomy is also proposed to still be upheld, as there is still that opportunity given for people to object with the opt-out system, and then consent really can be expressed through the action of not opting out. I think it makes it a bit more clear for the family instead of the family making that decision.
Now we just have Tina that's also going to be talking about the ethical theories.
As an alternative perspective, we can also consider the opt-out system from both a deontological and bioethical point of view. Starting with the deontology theory, it's a theory based upon the view that the rightness and wrongness of an act depends on the nature of the act rather than its consequences. It emphasises the value and importance of each individual and deals with their intentions and motives behind them. This theory would hence go against the opt-out system, as the basis of presumed consent is a wrong act. This can be argued due to the fact that because consent is an active process, it should not be presumed simply because there is no objection. No, patients should be able to play a bigger role in the decision of their organ donation, and the breach of patient autonomy is also another factor that contributes toward the negative view of the act. From a bioethical point of view, a similar argument can be made to go against the opt-out system. The bioethical theory is based around the ethical implications and applications within healthcare and raises questions regarding the overall benefits of a proposal. It poses questions such as what is the right thing to do and what would be the best way to achieve this? Would it be worthwhile? Who will be responsible to whom and for what? And what our obligations are to one another. This theory hence also goes against the opt-out system, as it's questionable whether the potential issues that come with the system outweighs its benefits. Some of the main issues with the opt-out system include statistics that imply that the system wouldn't increase organ donation rates, and that the system could potentially cause great harm to the relationship and trust that patients have with their medical practitioners. This is because many people have argued that the public could see the system as the government trying to control them and hence become distrustful of the medical practitioners. The arguments that stem from the two theories are both very valid, and hence I think there will need to be a lot more discussion and research before the system can be implemented in Australia.
Thank you, ladies, for joining us on the segment today. So we've had a great discussion on utilising ethical theories and principles when making the decision to or to not donate organs. Obviously, there are many issues that individuals need to consider when making a decision, or if they're in the position where they have to give consent of their loved ones' organs. We'd love to hear what your opinion and perspective is on organ donation. Please share with us on Facebook and our Twitter page.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. No worries. See you next time.